Hey, what's up guys? So I'm on a cruise boat. I'm on my way to Tallinn. Gonna get, just take a break, get some cigars, It gets monotonous out in the countryside, but one of the next projects that we'll be looking into is basically your basic EDC style, very similar to the CRKT Obake. It's gonna have shoulders, it's gonna have a paracord handle. Right now, it's like sort of the design phase. I was thinking M390 steel, so like a really high quality stainless steel. Some crazy stainless steel, right? Go for like a really high quality product, have that small little rivet lock on there. So you see right there, I don't really want to show everybody what I'm fucking doing here, but you can see that small little rivet lock there. So the problem is, because the entire profile is stainless steel, you don't really want to have something that creates a patina or rusts on the rivet itself, because then you're going to have the whole stainless steel profile, the whole stainless steel design, and then there's like iron in the rivet lock. So I think this won't be cheap. The whole point of this is really to create like a very top of the line type of product. So you got the the plasma cut or water cut blanks. Then they're going to be sent to the same heat treat facility that heat treats a lot of the stock removal blades. This is just to get the maximum quality out of it. I've said this in previous videos too, where once you know enough about metallurgy, you realize that the best thing to do is to outsource it and stop wasting money on equipment yourself, especially in bulk, because it's better to spend 1 or 2 or 3,000 euros on getting 300 blades cut and heat treated, and then just water grind them in your workshop, because at the end of the day, that's the maximum level of quality that you're going to get out of your product. If you go and muck about with all this heat treating equipment, now the heat treating equipment is very important if you're doing a lot of varied designs, if you're doing a lot of prototyping, if you're doing a lot of random things here and there, but when it comes to production, you don't really need to waste time with that. You're better off outsourcing the heat treat and the plasma cutting and getting yourself really like a box of ready heat treated stuff, and then of course just do the hard grinding, the hard wet grinding and polishing. The idea here with this design is that it's gonna have maybe a mirror polished bevel. That would be pretty cool, because I've used M390 before. I like the steel a lot. I trust it. It's and it's got very high edge retention. It won't be as tough as the rivet lock Bulko. Like, you won't be able to do a over 90-degree bend test with it. Stock removal knives tend to snap early. I've done it before with a lot of these scalpels, which you can buy off my website at hotmetalknives.com. Yeah, I'm on public area just pulling this out, but the point here is really just to get like a next stage level, because with a lot of the EDC stuff, it's like, yeah, I could do ADC RV2 stock removal, yeah, I could do Scandi grind. Yeah, the thing is, like, as a maker, I need to think about the profit margins. And with the rivet lock Bulkos, they really are not like 60 euro knives. Now, okay, I'm still refining the design. I'm still trying to like perfect the product. But if it was like completely kind of readied up and finished and perfected, it wouldn't be 60 euros. Like, let's be realistic. It's forged from a 14mm round stock, cold forged. It's heat treated extremely well. The rivet lock Bulko long, as you saw it went over 90-degree bend test. It didn't, these are not supposed to be like, and also I'm not making actually like that much profit on those. I'm kind of just breaking even. Even with the scalpels, they're actually quite underpriced. I won't be able to make 20 of these a day, and if they sell for 50 each and it costs like 10 euros each to make, I'm not actually making much money. So really right now what I'm doing is I'm in the stage of gathering customers. I'm in the stage of sort of discovery, market discovery. I'm getting new people, new customers, and trying to gather sort of a community around my brand. But at some point in time I'm going to have to raise the prices, but or somehow find a way to speed up production or these kind of things. And one way to do that, of course, is to introduce new products that are, you know, not necessarily anything dramatically new in the market, but just from a different approach, from a different maker. And I really like this obake style design, and I'll be, you know, ordering a bunch of these pocket clips from China and playing around with that. Just something super high quality, something nice. Because one of the things about EDC now, it's not a big deal with these for some, because this is Scandi grind, and Scandi grind you can't really pull that off with stainless steel. The chromium carbides are just so thick that the best steel you can really get this type of really keen edge with is these carbon steels. And so when it comes to like a regular EDC, your main goal isn't to go out there and make a bunch of fires. You know, part of the idea of an EDC is that you're actually, you know, you're going to be making food with it. You're going to be skinning an animal with it, maybe slaughter an animal. There's a lot of things you're going to be doing. Making a fire with an EDC like this, it's not going to be like the primary objective. Unlike most pulkos, you know, or like these regular EDC pulkos, where like basically the primary objective of a traditional Finnish pulko is to make fires. That's it, and skin animals. But like, it's not really for opening boxes. I mean, boxes didn't really exist when pulkos were first made, you know. Like these, you know, tape wasn't really an invention. I don't even know actually, but something like this, you know, this is like something that fills the role of like executive, administrative, you know, office roles. If you lend it to your wife and she leaves it on a wet cutting board, it won't be a puddle of brown rust the next morning. You wouldn't believe it, but the number of people who message me, hey, I lent my scalpel to a friend and they chipped the tip. Like, seriously, in the last month, 3 or 4 people have sent me a message, hey, I lent my knife to a friend and they chipped the tip, because they're trying to pry something open with it. The scalpel is supposed to be a little bit more fine product. It's not supposed to be robust, and if you're prying open paint cans with a tip like that, you're gonna break it. Just don't lend nice knives to your friends. That's it. Just don't lend them to your fucking friends. It's, the number of times, oh, I lent it to a friend and it chipped. Yeah, he probably batoned it onto a fucking rock or used a hammer and had no idea that it was like a nicely, I don't know. Anyway, but this is where we're going. Basically similar to the obake. I might have some design changes. The real difference between this and the obake, of course, is that this is going to be like a super steel. I like to go and experiment with an M390, for example, and then I want to get those shoulders correct so that the height of the paracord and the handle, everything is flush. And the rivet lock, which is quite important, because that'll give us a little extra stealth and some really nice finish on there. And yeah, it'll be like 200. I'm gonna aim for 200 euros, but I don't know, because a product like this can cost like $40 each to make, because M390 stainless steel, when it's hardened, has extremely high abrasion resistance. So you're gonna need maybe 2 or 3. So like $30 just on belts, just to grind it. And then there's, yeah, so that'll be the expensive part. And the heat treating and the plasma cutting, that's also about 6 to 10 euro for each step, depending on the product. So, you know, we're looking at a pretty heavy investment here for our product. So remember what I said before, don't do too many one go. Don't order like 100 or 200 unless it's something you already know very well will work. These I pre-cut 300 and got 300 heat treated in a box, and then there's a huge box full of them at the lab where I just grab them, straighten them, grind them, and put a handle on them. But something like this, you don't want to produce, you know, too many in one go. Get like 10, 15. Because once you go over 20 and there's so many of them, if there's something wrong with one of them and you've never had that design before, you've never played with it, something off with it, now you're stuck with you know, producing a product that you might not be necessarily happy with, or is missing something that you need. And you know, yeah, fuck, I'd love to order, you know, straight away 300 of these blanks. Maybe I just hold this up for a little bit. 300 of these blanks, and then just get to work and make a whole bunch, and then, you know, that would be nice. But you always fuck up the first couple prototypes. Like, that's what I've learned, that you always fuck it up. It's always fucked up. So, but I've really, personally, for a long time now, I've been kind of desiring to use more stainless steels, because in some ways it kind of simplifies a lot of the process. So one of the other things I like to plasma cut is a large, very professional Giotto profile, and just get a stack of 10, 20 of some crazy ass steel like M390, spend the whole day grinding, hand polishing, do like super nice finish, put one of those nice handles on there and sell that. Because at the end of the day, plasma cut, heat treated the facility, hard wet grounded, so grounded under, you know, wet conditions, hand sanded with, that's the highest quality kitchen knife you're gonna get in the West. You're not gonna get higher quality than that. And the next quality down is actually like quite far down. So, you know, these are the best steels in the world right now. So that's you know, you got to take advantage of it. We really are in the golden age of knife making. So, and one good place to start practicing grinding a lot of stainless steels is to actually go on, do these smaller designs first. You know, think small first, then go big. Especially if you're a beginner, you know, think small, then go big. Make 100 of something really tiny, like blacksmith knives, you know. You know, keep the process exactly the same. Cut all your raw materials precisely to the same exact dimensions, and then just work with that and do the exact same thing over and over and over again. Iterate and iterate and iterate and iterate, and then move on to something else and apply what you've learned from iteration into the next design. So yeah, guys, you can go and get yourself a scalpel from hotmetalknives.com, and I'll see you guys next time.